Hello and welcome to the second episode of my FIFA 13 Manager Mode career. So today, as you saw in the last video, we were kind of introducing you to the squad, and I was kind of talking about and the depth and direction which I was hoping to take the squad in. So seeing as it is currently the transfer window, first thing I decided to do was to kind of lessen my squad a little bit. Obviously the wage bill remaining was only 10,000 at the end of the last episode, obviously with all the players which were in. So first player I decided to loan out was actually Alex Carnes, actually our 19-year-old goalkeeper, and decided to put him out on a season-long loan. I was going to keep him because obviously at 19 years old you don't know how good he is going to develop. I decided I'm also going to buy another replacement goalkeeper which will kind of take his place and be on the bench, if not my starting 11. As you see, I put the parameters up to 17 to 20 just to make sure I get the young guys. And this is the guy I saw, Patrick Rakowski, I think it was, a 19-year-old with a 67 rated, and I decided to put him in with an extra £50,000 on his contract to what they were asking for. Second thing I decided to do, obviously I want to have some youngsters in my squad, so I decided to go again for a defence, and this is a guy I was able to find. I think it's Luis Gustavo. He's another 19-year-old. This time he's a centre-back, and I decided to put another 25,000 on top of his market value to hopefully try and get him. I then went back to my kind of squad and put Paul Connolly onto the transfer list, hopefully trying to get a few thousand for him because he's kind of going out a bit, along with Lee Bromby, obviously centre backs, and bringing in the previous player which I've just shown you kind of made sense. So those two gone on the transfer, and I've got two coming in so far. Once again I went for a midfielder, and I found this winger from Hartlepool, a 65 rated Luca James from Hartlepool. As I said, he's 17-year-old, but he was a crucial member of their team, as you can see there, and offered £750,000 for him, as you'll see how that will progress later on. And then went back to my squad and put a few of my midfielders I didn't think we were playing. Obviously Brown is centre defence midfielder, he's not really got any space in my team. However, I still felt that I had a few too many players for my liking with the wage bill. I wanted to increase that a little bit to allow me to get some more class into my side, and obviously that required a bit of a bigger wage bill. So I decided to let Danny Poo go, put him out on transfer listed, and I also put Paul Green on for a short-term loan just up to January, just to free up some more of my wage in order to allow me, as I said, to get some more fresh young legs and talent into the side in order to give me a bit more pizzazz. So I decided to get on the market once again to try and get another kind of tasty attacker, and I found this guy, Carlos Fierro, a 17-year-old, and he was actually rated, I think he was 65, so I was kind of thinking, yeah, that will go really, really well actually to sit in with my, I think I've got Alhaj Diouf and Ross McCormack up front, so I decided he would probably fit in quite well, and obviously if he's therefore to progress as he goes on, that will work out pretty well, kind of give me a nice all-rounded strike force. As you'd expect though, all four of the teams that I put offers in for were asking for more money, so initially I decided to just plump for the goalkeeper, increasing it to the £700,000 which they were asking for. Hartlepool also came back with a counter offer, but I decided to kind of leave him because I didn't think a right winger was going to bring that much. Here he is, Luke James. I didn't think he was going to bring that too much to my squad. I decided to go for Gustavo though, the 19-year-old centre-back, so I thought, you know, his depth definitely, and of course Carlos Fierro. I increased my bid to £1 million because I decided, you know what, he could be a really, really potentially great signing throughout the season. Moving on then, we actually managed to pick up to get the offer agreed on my goalkeeper. So obviously I've now got to kind of wager with the players with what they want to know, and obviously being new to the game I wasn't quite sure what I had to do. Obviously I put future first team player down for both these teams. They weren't both players, sorry, and they weren't overly great with it. So obviously I was to and throwing, going back and forward throughout the rest of the kind of simmed up to our first friendly match, trying to get in the best offer I can for them. Once again, I got the centre-back as well interested, but of course I needed to be put in not just future first team player. It seems as though you've got to kind of say, yeah, you're actually going to be an important and crucial first team player in order to get them on board. But I've got a very interesting transfer offer here for Paul Green, so obviously I put him out on loan just to free up my wage bill. And then obviously he's gone out on loan, so I wanted to make sure I was going to be getting these signings to replace the people going out. So once again, go back to Luke Gustavo and put him as a bit more wage there. He didn't enjoy that though whatsoever. And Fierro, I put squad rotation player in order to try and get those. But I also had a very interesting transfer offer, and it was actually for Becchio. Obviously he's my best striker on the game, so I decided, if I get him this new 17-year-old striker, I might not be able to have Luciano Becchio in my squad, so I decided to put in a counter offer of 2.1 million. The boards were saying he's worth 1.8 to 2 million, so I thought if I can squeeze 2.1 million, extra £200,000 out of the club, then that'll be pretty decent. And that actually went through, so they accepted the transfer offer, so I got the extra money, so that was pretty decent, and I was able to therefore take that money and put it more into the players which I was going for. Obviously every time I'm resubmitting these things, I'm changing what they're going to be from future to squad rotation, and finally I put them as future, no, not as future, as important first team player, just to get them on sign. You see, you get a offer from Portsmouth for Alex Carnes, and with the new goalkeeper coming in, I was like, yeah, definitely put him out on loan. Portsmouth's really decent side as well, going from Leeds, so I'm hoping he's going to get a few games there and progress. But this transfer negotiations did take an awful long time. But as you'll see, as we are slowly approaching the first friendly of the season, which is a really good game, you see it in a minute, I was actually able to sign here we go, my young striker for £1 million. So I've got him to replace Luciano Becchio, and so they definitely went straight into team management and put him straight in the team there. So he's definitely going to be starting, and I've obviously increased this goalkeeper to an important first team player just to get him on side. So it took an awful long time to be able to get these players, and I was also able to get my centre back. I'm still waiting on my goalkeeper, but with the centre back Lucas Gustavo and my Carlos Ferreira up front, meant I had a pretty decent strike force. Moving into the first game, you see is starting there, and the first half was where all the action was. You can see here, get a nice ball outside, pull it into Fierro there. He's trying to do a nice 1-2 there. It doesn't come off, but with his pace, you see the keeper, a bit of a blunder. He nicks it off defender there, cuts inside, shoots into the bottom right-hand corner of the goal. Keeper could do nothing. So I was really pleased with how he started this game. Obviously, first game for the 17-year-old for me. £1 million price tag, which for Leeds is a pretty decent transfer fee to be offering. So I was thinking, oh, he needs to be playing pretty well in order to justify his £1 million price tag. But as I said earlier in the thing, old Sam Byron was my other youngster which has been at the club, and straight away from the kickoff, Byron gets really nice. He's going down the right wing, obviously, gets a nice run through and through ball. I think that was from Fierro as well. Puts Byron in and scores top left hand corner goal. Very well finished goal. The rest of the first half, not much went on, and moving into the second half here, I decided to give some of my younger new players a bit of a chance. You can see I decided to bring on a bit more pace, and my youngsters here at 33-year-old, I didn't think that was what I wanted to do. But so I mixed it up, take Byron off to get my new, I think, centre mid, or I was just going for a bit more pace. I was just going for a bit more pace there. But I now also bring on another one of my young strikers, which was actually in the club beforehand. They missed a bit of a die goal there, but obviously I do the cheeky, just going to team management as it's going out of play. So I decided to take old Alhaj Diouf off and bring on my young strikers. You see here, bring him on, and you'll see in a minute Fierro was playing out of his skin. So swapping for Diouf and put Fierro in the middle because I knew he was playing really well. As you see here, Byron is going off, which is probably a bit of a controversial move as he was playing really well, but I wanted to give a bit of rotation to the players on the bench to keep them happy, because that is definitely an aspect which I'm going to struggle with, and bring in happiness and definitely, you know, the wage struggling with. But here we go. So we were on the attack in deep into their half, and get a nice throw in here. Old McCormack throws it in. Fierro just inside the box, bang, hits the post. So I was really unlucky not to score, and how it managed to kind of hit the post and then swirl out for a goal kick, I will never know, but I was hoping I was just going to go in off. So for his first game, I was really impressed. You can see a nice 2-0 win for our first friendly of the season, and of course Fierro gets man of the match. So if you have enjoyed this, please leave a like and maybe a favourite, and you know, you can suggest things and players which you want to see me kind of bring towards the squad in order to give them a bit more depth and a bit more pace. As you can see, I didn't manage to get the keeper, but I'm going to keep working at him, and you'll be able to see in the third episode, sorry, whether I'm able to actually sign him, which will be rather interesting. Definitely an important first team player I've got to put in there. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.